Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 11th annual Miltona 50, live from Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. Tonight, we've got 50 laps of pure chaos where dreams are made and usually destroyed in turn 3.
Mike, you're damn right. The Miltona 50 isn't just another race. It's where heroes are crowned and egos get stomped flatter than a Busch Light can at a tailgate. These guys have been working all off-season half drunk in their garages to dial these karts in. But let's be honest, half of them probably set their gear ratios with a magic 8-ball.
Barry, I think some of these boys spent more time on their paint schemes than their setups. But hey, it's the Miltona, where you can go from future champ to Facebook Marketplace ad in about 15 laps. And don't forget, we've got a field full of heavy hitters tonight.
Oh, I love this place. Back when I was racing, I'd wreck my grandma to win a race like this. But these guys, they'll wreck themselves before they even get to lap 10. And now with the gear rules opened up, it's going to be harder to figure out what works than trying to cancel your gym membership after New Year's.
Couldn't have said it better, DW. And speaking of guys trying to outsmart themselves, let's send it down to Eddie, who's with Jimmy Allen Jr. I'm sure he's got a plan. But whether it's a good one, well, that's another story. Eddie, what's the word down there? Does Jimmy have anything up his sleeve besides last night's wristband from Scores?
Well, 71C machine, last time we saw this kart, it was in Victory Lane. That was during the short track. Unfortunately, he had some old fuel in that tank and it bounced you out of the wind. Welcome back. We've got a couple new things going on for 2025. We have this beautiful new Ghost engine. Yep. You've elected to go with the sealed engine. That's going to give you a 10-pound weight break. Yep. And you get to come out here, and you ran the test the other night. Number one, how was this engine? And number two, how did that test go?
Test was a little rough for us. A lot of stuff we have to improve upon if we're going to be fast tonight. I went with the sealed engine because I don't want to mess with it. I just want it done, put it on the cart, change the oil, and then go racing. The weight advantage doesn't benefit me any because with all the lead stripped off the cart, I'm still right where I need to be. So maybe we lose a little bit of weight this race season, maybe. But test session was cool. There's some differences on how we race the track now. But for the most part, I think it'll be a pretty similar looking race to everything else that we do.
So we tested Darlington track layout. How did you like that layout? We ran the big track in 1 and 2 and the short track in 3 and 4.
Interesting. I think it'll be difficult to pass unless we get these motors kind of figured out a little bit more and where they make power and how we need to gear them and everything. But it was pretty fun.
Jimmy Allen, used to seeing him run the high side. Maybe he'll do that again here tonight.
Thanks. All right, folks, welcome back. As we gear up for the 2025 DNQ season, a lot has changed, and I mean a lot. New engines, new layouts, and maybe even a few new headaches for the crew chiefs. The Cup and USAC series have moved over to the Ghost engines, making things a little more budget-friendly for the teams. Plus, with the new driver gear rule for 2025, everyone's got a little more room to play with setup and find the sweet spot. But hey, Barry, what's the biggest change for you this season?
Well, Mike, I'd say the biggest change is that gear rule. Opening up the gears is going to give these drivers more passing opportunities, which means we're going to see guys trying to rip the top and some sliding back to the bottom trying to hold on. It's going to be like watching a bunch of cats fight over a can of tuna. And let's not forget, Darlington and the Millbridge Big Track are on the table now. We tested both layouts this past Monday, and let's just say, not everyone made it out clean.
You ain't kidding, Barry. These guys ran the Darlington layout and Millbridge like they were running from child support. That Darlington layout, it's a tire eater. And with that long backstretch at the Millbridge Big Track, if you miss your mark, well, you're either in the fence or you're slower than DW ordering his 4th dessert at the buffet.
Now, hold on, BP. I don't always go for 4 desserts. Sometimes I stop at 3. But let me tell you, I watched these boys test on Monday, and some of them couldn't find their way around if you gave them Google Maps. And speaking of that, Mike, I hear Alex Kirk's team left a little colorful surprise in the pits after that test. Why don't we send it down to Eddie and see what the hell happened?
Good idea, DW. Eddie, what's going on down there? I heard Kirk's crew left a, let's just say, unique souvenir in the pits after Monday's test.
I'm down here with Alex Kirk, who is part of that test session here the other day. You know, I got a text message from Jeremy Burnett, who owns a racetrack, said that your group may have left something. It was rainbow colored here at the racetrack after the test the other day. So I just care to explain what you guys left at the racetrack and how did that test go for you guys? Seemed like you had some speed there.
The test went well. The Darlington layout we really liked. I pretty much suck on the road course, and I've asked you to take that out of the schedule, but you refuse to because you don't like me. No, we had a lot of fun. It's been a running joke in our shop for a long time that there's a rainbow dildo that gets thrown around and left in people's suitcases when you go to the airport. Bob brought it to the racetrack and thought he would stick it to the side of my cart. Apparently, I stuck it at the trailer, and we thought we lost it somewhere on 3. Did you pick it up and bring it back, or did it get...
I don't know what happened to it. I just got a text message saying you have to control your customers.
Not a shot.
And I don't know what happened after that. So maybe you want to ask Jeremy where it went.
Can you text Jeremy and ask him if we can get that back?
What are your chances here tonight after that test? You feel pretty good about it or what?
No, we're pretty good. Everybody in the mystery camp, we got a lot of speed. Went back over the offseason and worked hard on them, tried to get them right, and we'll see where it goes. Everything starts with qualifying.
Alice Kirk trying to qualify better, and I have a weird feeling he's going to run a lot better this year after taking some time in the offseason to get his stuff right.
All right, folks, let's talk about one of the biggest offseason moves. Jeremy Murphy, your 2024 Busch Grand National Series champ, is making the jump to the Cup Series. And I got to say, this one's got me scratching my head a little.
Mike, I'm with you. Murphy had a solid season in Busch, but let's be real. It's not like he was running away with it. And Busch, it's got its fair share of hacks and bumper car specialists. Cup, that's a whole different ballgame. These guys may race hard, but they're a lot more civilized about it.
Exactly. Barry Murphy's about to learn real quick that Cup doesn't hand out participation trophies. You've got guys like Showalter, Beatty, and Contarino who know how to race clean but won't hesitate to rough you up if you get in their way. Murphy's going to have to tighten that helmet because he won't have the luxury of dodging chaos like he did in Busch.
Boys, back in my day, moving up meant you had to earn your stripes. Murphy's got the talent, but if he thinks it's going to be as easy as dodging Dollar Hide in turn 3, he's in for a rude awakening. Cup ain't Busch. These guys will eat you alive if you're not ready.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Murphy's got a lot to prove, and Cup isn't the place to be learning on the fly. It's going to be sink or swim for the Busch champ when the green drops at Miltona.
Well, in 2024, Jeremy Murphy came home with the Busch Series championship. This year, you're making the step up to the Cup Series. A large jump for you guys, but are you up for the task here?
Oh, we hope so. Came out and tested Monday, learned a lot. I think hopefully it'll apply it tonight. Learning a lot more with the gearing and just how these motors feel. It's definitely going to be a little bit of driving experience difference. It's going to be fun. I've already seen that. I'm excited to see what we can do with these guys. We might start off a little slow, I believe, beginning of the year here, but I'm planning on winning a couple by the end.
What is it like not having to run with the Wreckfest in the Busch Series? Those guys are a little bit of a group of weapons out there. Now you're with the upper echelon of D&Q, and I say that lightly, with the Cup Series drivers. Those guys race a little bit better. I feel like you won't have as many scratches down the side of this, and it might be a little bit more courteous.
Yeah, actually, that's one reason why I haven't replaced the nose yet, because I figured to kind of feel them out the first race, but no, I think these guys, they're a lot more respectful. You're running a lot more faster, I feel, with these karts than the others. You got a lot more control with the throttle. It's more driver, not just, if you let off in the Busch, you're losing tons of spots. So you got to keep it hammered down in the Busch Series, and those guys don't let up, right? And there's so many karts that show up in that class. I mean, it's an awesome class to run. That's why I loved running it. But I feel like moving with this class might be able to keep my sponsors a little bit happier, keeping it cleaner. So I got a brand new wrap I'm going to hopefully have out here for the next race here. So we'll see how it all looks and works out.
Your Busch Series champion making the leap to Cup this year, Jeremy Murphy.
All right, folks, we've got a cool breakdown to show you. D&Q's moving the Cup and USAC series to the Ghost engine in 2025, and we put together a graphic that lays it all out. Now, at first glance, the Ghost and Predator might look similar, but under the hood, that's where things get spicy.
Mike, this is where things get fun. First, we're tossing that stock fuel tank in the trash because the Ghost runs a fuel cell that's mounted to the chassis, not the engine. Then, we're getting rid of the stock exhaust and that tiny carb and airbox.
Yep, and in comes the good stuff. We slap on a Mikuni carburetor and bolt up an RLV 5026 exhaust pipe that'll make these karts sing like a choir of angry bees. And let's not forget, more airflow, more power. That's how you go faster, boys.
More power, more noise, and more speed. Oh, that's my kind of upgrade. These Ghost engines pack a punch, and the best part, you don't have to waste a mortgage payment to get one.
That's right. The Ghost engine isn't just faster, it's more cost-effective too. And that's a win for everyone. Drivers and teams are taking part in pre-race ceremonies. Coming up next, it's the 1ZT's Dash Series feature. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Bush.
Right.
All right, guys, let's run through the starting lineup for the 1ZT's Dash Series tonight at Millbridge Speedway.
On the SRI pole with a time of 12.713 is Zach the Nighttime Nightmare Campalonga. Due to the invert, the Vampire will start in the 5th position. Let's take a look at our starting lineup.
Leading us to the green is Stuart the School Bus Sculthorpe. Now he's new to the DNQ series, so we will see how quickly he pulls the chute. Next to him on the outside pole is Stephen Taunches. He won the buggy feature last night and is looking to take home a 1ZT's Dash Series win.
In row 2, we've got Casey Meyer in the 935 and Dan Rack in the 63. Both these drivers have been very close to winning one of these races. Look for them both to have a strong run.
In row 3, we've got Zach the Nighttime Nightmare Campalonga starting 5th after laying down the fastest lap in qualifying and taking home the SRI pole award. But with the invert, he's got some work to do. Next to him is Joel Farlow in the 48. Joel is making his maiden DNQ voyage tonight. We will see if he can stay away from a case of taco neck.
Row 4 sees Brad Michalowski in the 60. Next to him, we've got Jay-Z's favorite driver, Brian Shaw in the 111. Shaw is known for being consistently mid-pack.
Row number 5 has David Hutchins in the 69. Nice. And beside him, Shane Contarino in the 18th. Now, Shane's carrying the family name, but we'll see if he's got what it takes or if he's just Mike Contarino 2.0 minus the experience.
Look out for row 6. We got Roger Diebold in the number 38D. The D stands for D's Nuts. Next to him, Tanner Nauman in the 31, making his debut tonight. Welcome to the show, kid.
Row 7 features James Creek in the 301. Beside him, Tucker Nauman in the 02.
And finally, rounding out the field in row 8, we've got Philip Diaz in the 38.
All right, boys, let's get ready to go racing. Buckle up. This one's going to get spicy real quick. Let's send it up to Bill, Bob, and Jay-Z. Take it away, bitches.
Thanks, guys. We have Brian Shaw on board, Jay-Z, your guy. And we have Zach Campalonia with an onboard camera as well. Well, guys, we're getting ready to start a new season, and what better way to start it with the Dash Series feature?
Yeah, always exciting. This is really going to bring the fans up to the front of the fence here in turns 3 and 4. We're going to see some nice waffle bellies here to start. We got that yellow number 12 on the pole. Here we go, firing off. And we're green.
Stephen Towges leads the field to green, and here we go on the outside. Struthorpe, the school bus on the outside here, getting after it as we see Zach Campalonia, the Vampire, just going into night mode. He's going for the lead.
He is on the inside. He's left rear. He's door. He's in the lead. You got a new leader coming off of 2. Tatuja's right there in the slipstream as a battle between the 935 and the 63 off of 4 continues. Tight battle for the top 5.
You know what I notice here, Bill, is these guys are not running the bottom right now with traditional Millbridge. Looks like it's going to be a mid to upside track tonight as we're on board with Brian Shaw.
Well, Tauges ain't running the bottom because his shit is so damn tight, it is plowing the front end right off of that thing. The rest of the guys, I don't know if they can get to the bottom. It looks pretty darn wet down there. A little bit sloppy, and something like late night at Saeed's, but maybe we'll keep an eye on that as the night goes on. As that track wears out the middle, we might see some guys dip down there and get a little bit of grip.
Yeah, we see that very often here in the spring and the fall racing at Millbridge. The track's really heavy, really damp. One, narrow groove gets run in, and as the goodie gets run into that groove, as we got a battle here with is that a Kidwell machine in the 935? Remind me who that is.
No, that is Casey Meyer, and I know we've had a long off season, so yeah, he was a rookie, and he has learned a lot, done very well.
Yeah, Casey Meyer, he's trying to fish the bottom, find that moisture for the left front, get that thing to hook and turn a little bit, but it's tough sledding. The guys at the top can really keep it wound up and get into that RPM band.
Yeah, he's got to work it in quite a bit there, Bill, and once he works that in, it might work for him, but right now the Nighttime Nightmare has checked out, and he is a little sore. He did get in a head-on collision with his grandmother in the car, and I'm glad that, number one, he's alive, and number two, he's out here running, and he's probably at, 80%.
Yeah, picked up right where he left off at the end of last year, though, out in front, as the battle right now is for second. Dan Marak getting underneath Tauges. Tauges, one of those guys we talked about the end of last year. The beginning of the year and the end of the year is when he's really good. I guess he just doesn't change his setup for those summer months. He always falls off in the middle of the year. Right now, second place goes to Dan Marak. Tauges trying to hold strong through the middle, but that thing is plowing.
Yeah, Heschel still trying to fish in the bottom, find a way, but Marak's covering off that line. I think that goodie is starting to wear out of the middle, as you were talking about there, Bill. Track's starting to fan out. Drivers trying to find some clean air, get some good air in that left front, and make some time and try to catch the vampire, but he has checked out.
Yeah, no kidding. And Joel Farlow there in the 48, rookie contender. And look at Dan Marak coming of season here as we're watching some of the action. Joel Farlow, new to this series in DNQ, and Brian Shaw right behind him. But we've got traditional Millbridge, and like we talked about earlier in the pre-race show with some of the AI pit box, they were talking about we have Darlington, we have the short track, and we have Millbridge. We're only running this track like 3 times this year, so it's really going to change things up.
Yeah, we like to keep things fresh and DNQ series, to keep these guys on their toes. The best racers can get it done anywhere at any circuit, and that's what we try to bring here at Millbridge. Keep it exciting for the fans and the racers as well.
Yeah, and with, the 48, was it Furlow? What was his last name again? Farlow. The sport is fun. The series has really good competition. It keeps bringing new names like Farlow to the series here, and the numbers continue to stay strong as we're sending people home here with B Mains first thing in the season here.
Yeah, I want to talk about Farlow's Kentucky Waterfall. That was really impressive. He's got a nice little mullet going on, and that actually equates to massive amounts of speed in DNQ. I've looked at the downforce numbers. It's actually pretty efficient. Not a lot of drag with that downforce. Let's head down to the AI pit box. Guys, what do you see at this 5 to go caution?
All right, folks, we're under the DNQ 5 to go caution, and what a race we've had so far in the 1ZT's Dash Series. Zach Campolonga, the Nighttime Nightmare, has been putting on a clinic tonight. He checked out on the field like a guy leaving the bar after last call.
Mike, I'm telling you, Campolonga's alliance with Robert Showalter is showing here tonight. This team has done a ton of testing this offseason, and it's showing. If he keeps this up, they're going to need binoculars to see him at the checkered flag.
Yeah, but behind him, it's been anything but smooth. We've got Dan Marak, Casey Meyer, and Steve Tauches all fighting for second, third, and fourth like it's Black Friday at Walmart. They've been trading paint, sliding up, diving low, you name it. It's been a dogfight.
Don't forget Brian Shaw sitting in 5th. He's hanging on like a hair in a biscuit. But let's be real, if he's going to make a move, he better do it quick, or he'll be stuck back there like Kamala Harris in a debate, just going nowhere fast.
And with 5 to go, this track's starting to change a bit. The bottom to middle lane still the preferred lane in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, that high line's starting to show some grip. If one of these guys behind Campolonga wants a shot, they're going to have to move up and pray they don't end up in the wall.
Good point, Barry. But with Campolonga's lead, the only way these guys are catching him is if they tie a rope to his bumper. Still, it's not over till it's over. 5 laps to go. Anything can happen in DNQ, and it usually does. Let's send it back to green and see who's got what it takes to bring it home.
Well, thanks, guys. We're back in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair restart zone, and we're going to see what happens here, and we'll see if Marak's got anything for Campolonga.
Nighttime Nightmare fires off good. He gets a big run up top, lots of momentum. Not even a sniff of the lead from Dan Marak. Right now the battle is for second. Tauges got that thing cranked to the left. I mean, Fauci cranked to the left. That thing is not going anywhere. The Nighttime Nightmare stretching his legs, picking it up right where he left off.
Yeah, Brian Shaw trying to make his way through. He had a pretty good 2023 season, struggled for most of 24, and so far not showing a ton of speed in 2025 right off the bat. But everyone else is fighting for the bottom and leaving a little room off of 4. If you watch Campolonia exit that corner, he is right up on the wall about to tear the right front off that go-kart, but somehow makes the turn and makes some speed as Heschel trying to find a way to get by Tatu, just feeds him a right front. We're about to go 3 wide coming to the white.
That's Casey Meyer, not Heschel, but they're
Casey
battling
Meyer,
it out.
yeah.
It's all good. Oscar Meyer. And coming off of 4, we're going to have the Nighttime Nightmare take the dub. And he did actually win it in the tech shed, so let's go down and talk to him.
In Victory Lane, your winner tonight in the Dash Series, Zach Cowabunga. Man, I know you were driving with a lot of emotion tonight, going through some family difficulties, but no better place to stand in Victory Lane here at Millbridge.
Yeah, no one was going to get that one from me. I appreciate everyone back at the shop getting this thing ready. I mean, this thing was far from ready this morning. Bobby Showtime, Sauce, Colby, Dylan Latour, Ashton and Jeremy. I appreciate everybody who's reached out. Like you said, this one goes to my grandma.
Happy for you, Cowabunga, longtime competitor with us here at Millbridge Speedway. I usually beat up on these guys on the mic, but I can't do that to my man Cowabunga tonight. He's in Victory Lane with the Dash Series. If we don't scale him anymore.
Fuck it. Well, I'd like to thank Net Positive. Look at that, the positive billboard back there. And
nobody at home can see that shit from the
yeah,
the
they can. It looks beautiful. I'd like to thank Holzbauer, definitely G-Stats, Mike last night, and now we go get in the champ cart.
Shout out Magic Mike. All right, Dan Mrack, I don't know where the hell you started after the top 5 invert. Did you make the invert?
Yeah, I think I was second.
Okay, he made it P4. Finished second. Not bad to kick off the season.
No, a pretty good night. I don't know. I've been doing this 4 or 5 years. I still can't win one. I've been second and third a bunch of times, and I didn't have anything for Zach. He just pulled away. So, good run. Got to thank Steven. Like I said, he does all my stuff. He gets me to the track, everything. So, it's really all his doing that I'm here. Also, Net Positive, Holzbauer, Mike, and everybody that just really helps me do this. It's fun to come out here and run. I don't know what I got to do to win, but I'm keep trying.
Keep trying. He's like the DNQ Series Sheldon Creed is what it is.
All right, race fans, welcome to the show. It's the Professor Clutchworks Pro Cup Series feature, and tonight's lineup is looking as wild as a Waffle House at midnight. Your SRI pole award goes to Aaron Hodges, who laid down a blazing lap of 12.905. But with the invert in play, things have been shuffled up faster than a deck at a casino. Here's how they'll roll off.
Starting first, it's cart number 18, Alex Ribshack Kirk. If that cart is as spicy as his team's rainbow product last week, we're in for a hell of a ride. Second on the grid, in cart number 1, Jimmy Jingles. He might sound like a holiday mascot, but he's got elbows sharper than your aunt's fruitcake.
Third is number 71W, Ashton Johnson, always fast in practice. We'll see if he holds it together when the green flag flies. Rolling off fourth, cart 21, Dylan Teasley. Ratchet Jaws has been chirping all week. Now it's time to back it up.
Fifth, your pole award winner, number 01, Aaron Hodges. He was quickest in qualifying. Now he's got to climb the ladder to cash the check. Sixth, number 59, Dustin Dunn, or as we call him, Double D, engineer by trade, race winner by choice, if he can keep it clean.
Seventh, number 1D, Dennis Dean. Sounds like a high school principal, but drives like a dropout. 8 is cart 427, Joe Henning, winner of last year's All-Star race.
9th, number 4, Eric Yost. 10th, number 1, HKC Heschel Pass short track winner.
Row 6 has cart 66, Damian Jinks, the California curveball. If he finds rhythm tonight, he'll be dangerous. Next to him, number 24B, Kirk Hansen.
13th, number 34, Long Island native Colin Hofner. 14th, number 22, Ricky Fisher, still looking for that breakout night.
15th, number 29, Nicholas Erlanger. 16th, number 73, Ray Ellis.
And bringing up the tail tonight, cart number 46, Brad McElrath.
17 Warriors, one wild night. You couldn't script this if you tried. Let's go up to Bill, Bob, and Jay-Z. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. We have an in-cart camera of Alex Rib Shack Kirk. And the other one is Aaron Hodges in that 0-1 machine driving for Travis Brown tonight as we're getting ready to take the green in the Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup Series. Let's see if Rib Shack's got what it takes to take this thing home tonight.
Yeah, Rib Shack always a little bit slow on the start. Once that thing gets wound up, it's got a ton of momentum. You see that thing get right through the corner, cut in the center, lots of stick. He's got some clean air on the nose of that 18 machine. He's going to be out to the early lead.
Don't look now, Ashton Johnson, he's on the inside. He's trying to get P1 as Dustin Dunn, old Double D, feeds the right side Nerf bar, pushes wide. He will lose that spot as they head into turn 1.
You gotta, you know, it's funny you said get wound up. In Pro Cup here, the drivers have to weigh 200 pounds. So that is a true statement, and especially true on the front row with Jimmy Jingles and Alex Kirk. As Ashton Johnson tries to make the move on the inside, can he take the lead?
Yeah, they're lined up. He's got some help shoving right now. Rib Shack stuck on the outside, can't make it stick, but he sticks his nose in there, tries to make it 3 wide, can't really make anything happen. You see the ebb and flow of the high line and the low line here as we're on board with Rib Shack, and now we're on board with Hodges, gloveless. I guess he needs a glove sponsor or something, or I don't know, maybe like save his lunch money. He gets through the middle, takes the short way around, but the top side with that momentum able to pull back even on the straightaway.
So one thing, Jay-Z, we did this year was we opened the rear gear rule. We said, hey, you know what? There's not a lot of passing. We got to get these guys better. And we opened the rear gear, and guess what? As Double D is hooked on Rib Shack, and that is going to slow them both down. Tough break for the two of them. But that allows these guys to mess it up or make it better. The rear gear is wide.
Whoa!
Yeah, it lets people set up for the top. Maybe they want to run the bottom. It gives it a little more room to play, and you can see the track is very racy. We got Yost outside of Henning there. Henning had a couple of good runs last season, but the racing is ultra competitive early on in this feature event.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the crew chief's calculators smoking in the pit area before this race. They were watching, trying to make some last-minute adjustments, seeing how the bottom came in or if they were going to have to run the top. Some of these guys definitely picked the right gear, and some of them did not. I love to see the guys with a lot of gear get off the bottom there and launch and maybe putter out at the end of the straightaway, and the guys that took a couple teeth off, keep that sucker wound up and drive back by right at the start-finish line. That's what makes it exciting for the fans. You never know who's going to be there at the start-finish and at the checker.
No, absolutely not. As we're watching this field string out a little bit, but man, that battle with Casey Heschel and the number 22 of Ricky Fisher is really heating up, guys.
Oh, Ricky's trying to push that one car through on the inside, but no one can really seem to get a leg up. You really need to just be fortunate enough to catch some clean air, get one good clean run off the corner to separate yourself, as we see Ashton Johnson still leading by a couple of kart lengths there over Hodges. But the Hornet's Nest here is from fourth on back. Dustin Dunn leading this line here. The 2-1s, Ricky Fisher, Heschel, and the 18 are Rib Shack, who got shuffled way back. Feeds a right rear to old Ricky there, and they all keep it together somehow.
Yeah, live traffic definitely playing a factor.
Yeah, don't look now. That Red Rocket is just riding around in the draft, trying to get a little bit of speed and go back by him. As we take a look at the leaders now, we see everybody getting a little bit spread out. Some guys hit the setup perfect. Some guys got off. We see some hand signals there. No gap. But look at the bottom there. Yeah, Jay-Z, what I want to point out is look at the bottom. That shine is completely off. There's even a little bit of rubber going down now.
Yeah, these big dudes got some weight. They're throwing on that weight transfer. They're putting some rubber down.
Wow, he really went. Dennis Dean driving. I mean, he went down all the way down in that shine there. Just could not make the pass. A little too tight.
Yeah, get too much in the shine, you'll wash out there.
As Ashton Johnson leads, and now we got Colin Hoffner. Colin Hoffner calling it a night. Driver fatigue out as we watch Ashton Johnson lead. As we head into our DNQ 5 to go caution, let's set up to the AI pit box.
All right, folks, the 5 to go caution is out here in the Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup Series race, and what a wild ride it's been so far. We started off with Alex Kirk out front, but things got physical quick. Kirk got dumped harder than a bad Tinder date. Tough break for the Rib Shack.
Yeah, Mike, Kirk had that cart hooked up early, but when you're leading in this field, you've basically got a target on your tail. After that, it's been the Hodges, Teasley, and Ashton Johnson show. Those three have been throwing haymakers every lap. It's been cleanish, but let's just say they ain't sending each other Christmas cards after this one.
Time to put your money where your Mike is. Who you got?
I'm going with Aaron Hodges, Mike. He's had the fastest cart all night, and that pole-winning speed hasn't faded. If he can keep his nose clean, I think he's your guy.
Give me Dylan Teasley. He's been wheeling that thing like it's got a chip on its shoulder. And with the way he's throwing it into turn 1, either he wins or we're sweeping him off the wall.
I'll take Casey Heschel, Mike. Reminds me of me back in the day, quiet early, but sneaky fast when it counts.
All solid picks. Me? I'll take Dennis Dean. He's kept his nose clean, got good track position, and I've seen him pull off some late race magic before. Let's see how it plays out when we go green for the final time.
In the tractor and trailer repair restart zone, can Ratchet Jaws take it home, or will Ashton Johnson continue his dominance as Ratchet Jaws is bouncing? He's chicken heading as they take the green.
Trying to get a run on the bottom there. It looks like the inside lane was preferred on the...
Chicken heading must have worked.
Yeah, that thing worked out. He's out to the lead right now. Hodgepodge trying to make some hay on the inside there. He's 3 wide. Gonna stick that left front down, try to get a little bit of grip. Can he send it in there? He does. Feeds a right side up to anybody above him.
Oh, yeah, the bitch slapping. The bitch slapping is out of control right now.
Yeah, let's call out Dustin Dunn throwing it all the way over his shoulder, letting the rest of the team, or rest of the field see it. As he goes from like 6th or 7th in that restart to P2, dude is driving with his hair on fire as it is an absolute mess. Yost trying to make his way through the middle here on the inside of Heschel. Ashton Johnson shuffled way back as the white flag comes out.
White flag for Ratchet Jaws. Is he going to take home a win here as he comes off a 4? He's going to take the checker flag. He's going to fail in tech for Surge. So it's going to go to Dustin Dunn. We'll go down and talk to him anyway. Just know he didn't win the race.
Yeah, you got to talk to me. Yeah, that's what happens when I know you don't do it very well. I'm just kidding. All right, Dylan Teasley down here in Victory Lane, your winner of the Pro Cup feature tonight. Homeboy chose the top on that last restart, left you the bottom, and it worked out for you.
Yeah, I knew I had it then. Can't thank my dad, Calvin Dollarhide, Carson, Aaron, everyone that helps out. It's been a long time since I've been in Victory Lane. I think it's been probably 5 years since my last DNQ win, so it's pretty cool.
Kicking off the season with a big dub's got to do big things for your confidence moving into this 2025 season.
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster. It's been a struggle the past couple of years, but I think we got to hold the tires now.
Dylan Teasley, going to be one to watch. Starting the year off strong here with a Pro Cup victory. What's up? Good. How are you? All right. Dylan Teasley's, won the fucking race. Dustin Dunn finished his second. Man, your shit came on strong there late. What'd you need?
Yeah, I just needed to not step on my my wiener there at the beginning.
You could say dick. It's Yankee.
I stepped right on my dick. Early in the race, just climbed somebody that didn't have a left rear bumper, just drove right up on his seat and lost a half a straightaway. And just can't do that. With a 5 to go caution, you got to be dominating the race at the 5 to go caution to win these things. And I just was too far back. Having to start on the second row for the 5 to go just killed the night. Things got plenty of speed. We'll come back and try to qualify better.
I feel like racing like P6 in this Pro Cup class is probably the hardest thing to fucking do because you guys just smash into each other from like 5th back to 9th.
Yeah. There's heavy door slams going on tonight. I was coming off the bottom of 2 over here, and the guy just turned left on me in the middle of the straightaway. I'm like, okay, we'll do this. So I went in there and slung him the right rear as hard as I possibly could and never saw him the rest of the night. So I think that's about what he deserved.
Well, good start to the year for Dustin Dunn, trying to be back-to-back champ here in the Pro Cup Series.
I think so.
All right. I'll wait for done to get his shit box rolling here. You know what? Who cares? All right, Aaron Hodges. Looked good. Looked like it was going to be you and Ashton Johnson for the win. You guys checked out. And then the 5-to-go caution happened.
Yeah, we were kind of just, I wouldn't want to make any mistakes there. And then the caution come out, and then we got the door slamming for some reason. So I said, I'm not taking any of that shit. So I door slammed him back, and we come out in front of him somehow. Finished third. I'm pretty happy for Teasley. Help him as much as I can. I can do all these interviews, and I forget to thank people all the time. First off, Ashley and Jeremy for letting us do this here. Robert Steele with the clutches. Robert Showalter helps me out just with information in general. That's pretty badass. Jeremy Bowser at So What, Custom Canvas. They get me dialed in, help me out. So glad to be here.
I'm not glad to be here. Back to you guys.
All right, folks, the SKE USAC Series is on deck here at Millbridge Speedway. These wild machines are ready to shake things up. Let's break down your top 5 rows for tonight's Rumble. In row number 1, it's the 805 Steve Carmaine. He'll lead him to green. Next to him in the number 8, Mickey Roop, who is back after an injury he sustained in the 2024 season.
Row 2 in the 18. Mike Contarino, the DNQ veteran and past Dash Series champion. Next to him in number 12, Steven Tautches. He won the buggy race last night.
Row 3 in the 21, Kyle Beatty, your SRI Pole Award winner with a red-hot lap of 12.645. But thanks to the invert, he starts 5th and will be on a mission. Next to him in the 60, Matt Holzbar, a DNQ champion and lifelong wheelman who's probably forgotten more about racing than most of these guys know.
Row number 4 features David Crops in the 97, a DNQ veteran who is looking for more. Next to David in the 26X, Ronnie Carroll, our very own Restart Zone sponsor, back in the seat and looking to trade chrome for trophies.
Rounding out the field in row 5 is Mac Hermes, a relatively unknown racer. But in the USAC Series, that just means nobody's mad at you yet.
A lot of muscle up front, but that third row, that's where things could explode early. Beatty and Holzbar might light this place up before we even hit lap 5.
One thing is for sure. These USAC karts have some aero devices and lots of differing strategies using them. Let's see who is right. Jay-Z, Bill, Bob, what do you guys think?
Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate that. And getting ready to start this SK USAC Series season. We had Stephen Carmine on the pole here, and he does not have a receiver on. So gracefully, we allowed him to run the race, but did not understand quite how the start started, and he got put to the back.
How do you not have a receiver? That's like...
Yeah, it's rule number 1. He just couldn't hear, I guess, apparently. So that puts Mike Contarino on the pole with Mickey Roop, who's back after getting sniper shot by Teresa Earnhardt as we go green. She sold the rights to the 8 number, and he changed the font anyway, so, you know, hey, here we go.
I'm surprised that what's his face didn't sue him over it.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dale Jr. can sue him pretty soon now.
Kyle Beatty jumped to the front there. Everybody got squirreled up, and he ends up to the front in that SKE kart in the SKE Series, fitting very much. As he's going to take the lead as we watch Holzbauer and Ronnie Carroll, 2 past DNQ champions, battle it out here for the about 6th position. Oh, and you know what?
Okay.
Didn't matter for Steve Carmine as the tire fell off of it.
Yep, official DNQ race now.
It is now official, yes. Usually this happens in practice and everybody sobers up enough for the features, but tough break for the 805. He's going to call it a night as we'll take a look and see what happened here with the 805. Just, sometimes you forget to do something. Did I tighten that left rear? The answer is absolutely not.
Nah, you lost the right rear.
Sorry, the right rear.
Pretty damn hard to lose that one.
Yeah. So going the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Restart Zone. That puts Kyle Beatty up front with Steven Talges. Hopefully he freed his stuff up after that first feature, Jay-Z, as we go back green.
I hope he gets that thing turning. I mean, I know these ghost power plants have been very successful so far, but it's got a little bit more power than the last class he was in, so hopefully it'll put a little bit more turn in that go-kart. But that SKE out front of Kyle Beatty looks unbeatable right now.
Absolutely. We've talked about that short wheelbase in the past there, Bill. And that seems to be helping him out here tonight, and it'll probably help him out during the whole year when we start going to the shorter tracks.
Yeah, sure does, and especially on nights like tonight when it's lots of grip, you can just hold the thing down and rip it right around the bottom, and it'll stick. You know, when it gets a little bit hotter out, a little more dusty, then you got to slow everything down. Not sure how much that short wheelbase will help, but tonight when you can just layer on the wood, oh yeah, that thing's turning now.
Matt Holzbauer back in the series, took a long time away. He is the Net Positive Pool Series sponsorship. So really glad to, number one, have him back racing as a past champion. He won the IROC Series championship back in the days we started running clones. And he's back out here just having fun. Him and Steven Tao just bounce notes off of each other, and glad to have him back here in the series racing.
Yeah, fierce competitor. Dude really knows what he's doing. You know, it took him a race or two to get back in the saddle, but everything's looking good now. Solid top 5 going. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the podium at the end of the night.
Yeah, the flat carts are a little bit different to handle than these cage carts, these champ carts, or buggies as they call them down here. So it does take, like you said, Bill, a couple of races to build that notebook, maybe have that alliance with Tatuja's Racing, and see if you can't set sail for the front and try to match what Kyle Beatty's doing tonight.
Yeah, I like that spoiler Beatty's got going on the top of that sun visor there. Looks good.
It helps keep that air attached just that little bit longer, reduce a little bit drag, right? Kind of encourage that air to evacuate from underneath the go-kart, really dialing in that aero program over at the SKE Wind Tunnel.
Wow, Ronnie Carroll felt that right rear to Matt Holzbauer. He's on a mission here now in that 26 machine. But yeah, talk about Kyle Beatty. I've seen him a couple times. Not only does he lives racing, right? So his company's SKE, they sponsor the series. He's involved in that as well. But every once in a while, I'll go to Daytona, and right before I walk in the garage, he's helping a truck series team. He's helping somebody. He's helping out Nitro Racing. This is a guy that learns from everything that he sees. He learns from the truck series when he's there helping. He learns from his own development. So can't be mad at the guy for doing his homework, and it is showing tonight.
Now, really, really strong showing in the cage carts and the micro sprints here at Millbridge during the week. You know, they went out to the Chili Bowl, won a bunch out there. You know, he builds fast race cars regardless of what it is, and you know, it's definitely bled over here to the DNQ series. As we go on board here, we're watching the battle for, I think this is like 6th or 7th right now. Looks like, you know, the attitude on that 8 car might have been a little bit too far face up, ass down, and not as fast as what we got here with Kyle Beatty, who I think needs numbers on that thing.
Yeah, few too many Packers underneath the front end of that roof go-kart, right? Got to get that balance just right. Maybe get a little more nose weight in it, help her rotate here.
It is. Let's head down to the AI pit box.
We're under caution with 5 laps to go here in the SKE USAC series, and folks, it has been a wild one. We've had more chaos than a DMV line on a Friday afternoon.
Steve Carmaine was running like he was in his own time zone. He didn't even have a receiver in, missed the start completely, and then in true DNQ fashion, lost his right rear tire like it was on clearance. That's one way to make sure the field never forgets you.
Yeah, Barry, it's like watching someone trying to order Taco Bell with the wrong menu, just all over the place. But up front, it's all Kyle Beatty. The man's driving like he's late for child support court, clean, quick, and mean.
Beatty's got that kart handling better than anything I ever drove at Bristol. And trust me, if that boy can hold the bottom and stay off the brakes, he'll be tough to beat unless someone throws a prayer slider at him.
Behind him, it's Steven Totches and Ronnie Carroll in hot pursuit. Carroll's been digging hard all night, and Holzbauer's not far behind. And don't count out Contarino in 5th. He's still got time to screw this up or steal it.
And if these guys get racy on the restart, Beatty could be toast. 5 to go at Millbridge is like 15 anywhere else. Especially when someone's willing to use the bumper like a bad mood.
Strap in, race fans. This one's going down to the wire. Let's send it back down to the track as we get set to go green.
All right, here we go, guys. Getting ready to 5 to go restart. Beatty does his little Delaware restart there in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair restart zone. He skates away, but watch out. Matt Holzbauer, Steven Towges are coming for him.
Yeah, Towges beat the back bumper off of that thing. trying to make it stick, but Beatty able to hold the line right now. God, those Ghost engines look fast. I don't miss a clone at all. Those things are absolutely hauling. I think I'd be scared to get in one of those right now.
I think we were clocking him somewhere around $192, heading down into turn 1 with a good run off of 4. These things are absolutely ripping on the chip right now as Ronnie Carroll will not be denied going for second place as Tatujas maybe holding him up here as we're down to the last couple of laps to go.
Yeah, who knew that Hendrick and Gibbs has to hire Chinese children to build engines? We didn't know it, but hey, we know it now as the white flag is out for Beatty.
The battle is for second. Ronnie Carroll coming into the Carroll Tractor Trailer Repair restart zone, beating a bumper off of Tauges. Is he going to be able to get on that second step of the podium? No, he's not. Kyle Beatty takes home the win.
Down here in Victory Lane, and lo and behold, the SKE guy wins the SKE USAC race here at Millbridge Speedway, starting off the night or the year strong. Last night, Tao just kind of worked you a little bit. You got some revenge here on DNQ night.
Yeah, people talk a lot of crap about the Ghost motor, but we had zero effort in tech last night, and all the big motors really show. So, thankfully, we have tech tonight, and we have motors that are sealed, and we have actual rules that we're going to follow. So, maybe that'll help even the field out from what we saw last night. But enough about that. Yeah, SKE winning in a SKE event, that's almost as good as the Millbridge Speedway house car taking home the Millbridge Speedway Championship. So par for the course. If it works for them, it works for me. I want to thank everybody at the shop. Gary tuned on the aero on this thing literally all day long. He was in there with string, blowing on it and making the magic happen. So awesome job by Gary. Austin Pless Power builds a hell of a motor. He literally took this thing out of the box, strapped it on the dyno, pulled the cord, and bam, amazing power. So you got to get a Pless Power Ghost motor. That's where it's at. Adam Welch did my tires, so I want to say special thanks to him. It's also his birthday, so everybody make sure you bring Adam some Coors Light.
Coors Light for Adam. Let's get him in a cart as well after you're 6 deep. All right, Kyle Beatty. All right, Steven Tauges, another podium tonight. Decent start to the year. P2, you take it and run.
I guess we'll take it. It was all right, but I think I almost fell asleep during the race. We need to cut
go faster.
We need to cut the laps 15. That's not enough power.
I don't have a problem making these things shorter.
Yeah, let's make it shorter. But talk to the big guy. Like to thank G-Stats, Matt, of course, Net Positive. If you need your pool work done, we will gladly come over. You got a pool?
I got no pool. I got no money. That's why I'm doing this shit. Yeah, that's a problem. No money. And no money for this guy either because he finished second.
I got my $20.
Yeah, that's it. You get your entry fee back.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. See you.
All right, Ronnie Carroll finishes third. New motor, new rules, and he come out P3.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty even across the board. Like them a lot better than Clone. Makes a lot closer racing. But yeah, had a little bit of carburetor issues when we was qualifying, and fixed that, come back, and pretty strong, pretty good.
I will say, nicest looking fire suit, and probably about the only fire suit here in DNQ.
Let's head down trackside as the DNQ Busch Grand National Series starting grid is set and ready to roll at Millbridge Speedway. Here's how they'll line up tonight after that 5-position invert.
The SRI Performance Pole goes to Carson Menu Hyde with a 12.787. Due to the invert, he will start 5th. Starting on the pole is Beef Tips Motorsports driver Ben Murphy in the 21 machine. Beside him, the rookie Jake Wupala rolls off in the R2.
Third starter, the nighttime nightmare himself, Zach Campalonga in the 5C, always a threat when the lights go down. And rolling off 4th, the always dangerous and rarely quiet Bobby Showtime Showalter in the number 5, returning to Busch to settle unfinished business.
Starting 5th tonight, the crowd favorite and hot lapper from qualifying, Carson Menu Hyde in the 74. Next to him, Tristan Trailer Park Jones in the 96, who's been flirting with greatness and disaster in equal measure.
Oh, Hale. It's Andrew Hale in the 44. He had the fastest pit crew at the All-Star race last season, Beside him, the other Dollarhide father, Coleman Dollarhide in the 7, hoping to keep the family name up front.
Jacob Weidman in the 77, followed by William Munro in the 98.
Ashton Johnson in the 71W and Tyler Deering in the 24D.
Row 7 has Jory Heilbrunn in the 21X and Patrick Browdy in the 51.
In row 8, it's Chuck Herman in the 27 and Matthew Murphy in the 87M.
Row 9 features Gage Wenzel in the 48 and Matthew Bennett in the 35.
Elijah Chidester in the 95 and Braden Sellers in the 88.
Rounding out the field, also known as Get Your Carts Faster Bro, is Carl Hogg in the 1FL and Stephen Herring in the 11. No relation to Drew Herring, obviously.
Strap in, folks. It's about to get loud, wild, and maybe just a little sideways. The Bush Boys are lined up, fired up, and ready to beat and bang their way through a classic. Up to the Chads in the booth.
Zach Campbell, Nighttime Nightmares in-car camera, along with Andrew Hale. And the Bush Series big field tonight. 23 carts. We didn't send one home, so you're welcome. So we didn't have a B main. As the Beef Tips machine is on the pole as we go green, and we'll see if that thing can stay up front. Ben Murphy, a talented driver. See if he can hold the Nighttime Nightmare up.
Yeah, failed tech last time he was in victory lane, but hopefully they got their issues sorted out as there's a hornet's nest behind them. That Beef Tips machine always runs good in the beginning and the end of the year. Another one who falls off in the middle. Let's see, maybe they can trade some notes with somebody and try to stay up on it in the middle of the year this year.
That was a great run by Tyler Deering. Did you see that, JZ? He was on the top.
Yes, I did.
Oh, my gosh. And that's opening that gear rules are on board with Andrew Hale. The track is really wide now, and these guys have options, and it's really good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Got Andrew Hale there with the sweatshirt for the safety gear here tonight. He's trying to make a good return. He's been a long-time occasional DNQ racer here. Ashton Johnson on the inside here trying to make his way through after showing some speed earlier in the night in the Dash Series, I believe it was, but not really being able to get it done here as the old Tips machine is still out front with the Vampire, the Nighttime Nightmare, trying to run him down.
I cannot believe that we're running the top here tonight, and it's awesome. Absolutely. You would never see that in prep go-kart racing. That's why this stuff right here is very exciting to watch. DNQ is totally different how we run the rules, how we run everything, and the lane choice, man, is amazing. You have the gear choices now, and I feel like we're really coming into a new renaissance period of DNQ.
Yeah, look at the competitiveness. You got little Carson Dollarhide, the Dollar Menu McDouble there, very young, very exuberant with the old wily veteran Bobby Showtime, kind of going at it, just going to show how competitive, how diverse DEI this series really has gotten in a good way.
Yeah, well, the cream rises to the top. If you're good, you're good, and we only accept the best. What I want to talk about is the two ends of this racetrack, how different they've become. You know, 1 and 2, you're still running like the middle bottom, but 3 and 4, the line has moved all the way up to the top. The cushion has gotten smaller and smaller distance to the wall. You're starting to get a curb there. These guys are putting the right rear right on it, getting that big run to the start-finish line.
So watch the split screen here. We're on board with an in-car camera, and we're watching it live on the top track. The Nighttime Nightmare Campolonia's in-car cameras. He's racing with Bobby Showtime.
Bobby's been making the bottom work. He made a pass on Dollarhide on the bottom, a little mini slide job, if you will. Let's see if he can get the job done on his own house cart as Tristan Johnson there is fighting for his life against the R9.
Yeah, I love to watch those teammates run together because they do not give each other an inch. They will beat and bang, and they treat each other like any other competitor out there. You know, when it comes to the win, I would love to see what happens if those two are running first and second, because it'll be exciting in the pits and probably a little bit sketchy in the shop on Monday.
There you go, Ben Murphy trying to hold off that lead. Showalter just can't quite clear him. He's probably going to do it here on this run. He has got a stout machine here tonight.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a little bit of that gearing coming into play. Maybe Bobby Showtime is a little bit more in his go-kart, getting a run from the middle off. We're at the top end, the big end. Ben Murphy there wants to shoot by, but lap traffic has something to say about that as the old McDouble makes a move underneath Showtime. New leader coming off of 4.
Showtime gets a run off the high line. He's going to take away the lead as the Vampire now battling for third with Ben Murphy. We got battles all over this track as Dollarhide going to try to run down Showalter.
Yeah, we've seen that years with Ricky Warner and Donnie Schatz. Everybody, track gets, real fast. Everybody's going to run the top, and he'll just putt the bottom, run the middle, get that thing set up. Looks like shit in practice, qualifies terrible, and then ends up winning the damn race because he's the only one that can pass.
Well, the opposite of that is Ben Murphy here. He's fallen back, losing a couple spots here. The nighttime nightmare getting by him. I think that go-kart fired off real early, but as the rubber's gone down on those right rears, kind of gained pressure, gained some heat, he has lost the speed in that go-kart.
Cream is rising to the top, as Bill said earlier, and we're at our 5 to go caution. Let's send it to the AI pit box.
We're under the 5 to go caution in the DNQ Busch Grand National Series. And boys, this race has been absolute chaos. I mean, it's rougher than Harlem in the 80s out there.
Mike, you nailed it. This one's been brutal. 3 wide racing through the pack, guys bouncing off each other like it's bumper cars at a county fair. But I'll tell you what, that high side's finally coming in.
I haven't seen this much contact since Black Friday at Walmart. And let me tell you, Showalter's been throwing haymakers out there. Carson Dollarhide's got that 74 wound up like a dollar store weed whacker, and Campalonga is lurking. If he can pull off another late race miracle, I might just call him the nighttime ninja.
Now listen, I know a thing or two about moving people. Won Bristol 7 times, just saying. These boys remind me of me, but I'm just trying to figure out how BP's calling the action when he's been too busy getting Bambi's number from the hospitality tent. That's where all your notes went, huh?
Better to lose my notes than call the wrong driver name 4 times in a row, bitch.
All right, fellas, settle down. We got 5 to go, and here's your top 5. Robert, Bobby, Showtime, Showalter leads it. Carson, Dollar Menu, Dollarhide in second. Zach Campalonga third. Ben Murphy hanging in fourth. And Tristan Trailer Park Jones rounds out the top 5. Let's pick some winners. Barry?
I'm going with Showalter. That high side's coming to him, and he's got the cart to finish the job.
Way to go out on a limb, Barry. I'm saying Campalonga. Dude's like an IRS bill. He shows up late but always ruins your day.
Give me Tristan Jones. Anyone with a nickname like Trailer Park is probably not afraid to use the bumper.
I'll stick with the fan favorite Dollarhide. He's been fast all night, and if he times this restart right, we could see a late race stunner. Let's see what happens. Back up to the dirtbags in the booth.
Back up to the dirtbags in the booth. We appreciate the dirtbag comment, and you can kiss my ass as we're in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair restart zone. Who do you guys got here? It's going to be interesting.
From the looks of it, I got Bobby Showtime. That sucker is hooked up now at the end of the race.
I'm going with Dollarhide. I think he's got the fight. He's got the testicular fortitude to get it done. But Ben Murphy says, fuck you guys. I'm going after it right now.
He jammed that nose in there, didn't he? And look at this high line getting the runs off of that thing. If you're on the bottom, you better watch out. You better hope you clear them. Dirty sliders all over the back of this field. They're watching Dollarhide now try to take the second position away from the Nighttime Nightmare.
Yeah, Nighttime Nightmare's got that run off the top, though. We saw that in the previous race, making that top side work. He's here at the end again. I don't think he's been at Millbridge and off the podium in, 2-3 races now.
And that 46 machine, I believe, started scratching the field, and he's well inside the top 10 at this point. A great run by that driver. Forgot his name as the white flag is out.
Yeah, Jake Owings having a great run. He's raced karts for his whole life. Dollarhide gets on the left rear of the Campalonga. Yes, coming off a 4, the past champion in the Busch Series. Showtime going to take the dub.
I'm down here in Victory Lane. Winner of the Busch race, winner of the season opener, Showalter, back in Victory Lane at Millbridge Speedway once again. Had your buddy Cowabunga there. 1-2 finish for you guys.
Yeah, it's good having teammates that run there right there with you. They can help you on the restarts, push you a little bit, get you a good jump. And he ended up finishing second, so he must have got in front of Dollarhide there and was actually pretty fun. We're running the top here, and we're kind of getting sliders, and some people are doing dirty sliders. But yeah, that's fun. I love the high side. It's good racing up there, and we'll see what we got for the rest of this year. So far, it's going good. Sat and pondered on racing Busch and Cup, all what I wanted to do, and I think we'll keep doing it. We'll see how the Cup goes. This new motor, I don't really know too much about it. If it's going to be good, if we're going to find good ones, we're going to find bad ones. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, he is a pillar of excitement down here in Victory Lane. He's got 50 laps to go race here in the Miltona 50 coming up next. But Bobby Showtime in Victory Lane once again. Sitting here, P2 finish, not a bad night in Victory Lane for, the dash race, and then P2 here tonight. Good night for Grandma.
It definitely is. I was just sore about halfway through that race. Once I saw Joey getting a run, I let him go, and fought to go help me out, try and get comfortable again, and just give him a shove. Good job, 1-2 finish for us. Thanks, Showalter, Sauce, Colby, CTM Custom Cabinets, Patriot Chemical, Race City Garage Door, and like you said, this one is for my grandmother, so it's a good way to cap the year for her.
Good start to the season for old Cowabunga here. All right, Carson Dollarhide finished third. Got the best of Pops at least. I mean, what more can you say? What'd you need there?
Showalter not to be there. I don't know what it is about him, but I can't get around him. Other than that, it was fast. I mean, we had speed. We just didn't have Showalter speed, so the Showalter stable gets us again.
Man of many words, Carson Dollarhide. Finished third in the points. What more can you say?
Welcome back to Millbridge Speedway. We're just moments away from the start of the 11th annual Miltona 50. And folks, we've got a special guest in the booth tonight. Joining us is the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Mike, it's tremendous to be here, really. This is something special. DNQ is booming, absolutely booming. It's affordable racing, it's competitive, it's American grit. And how about these drivers? Small businesses on wheels. You don't see this in Formula E, I'll tell you that.
Mr. President, what do you make of the Ghost Engine program? Lower cost, less tuning. Some say it's the future of grassroots motorsports.
It's brilliant, Barry. You take out all the expensive nonsense, and you've got guys showing up with Harbor Freight engines and putting on one hell of a show. The affordability, second to none. The Ghost, I love it. It's a beautiful engine, very ghostly. Some say it's as ghostly as the Democrats in the White House, but I'm not going to say that. One thing I would like to do, honestly, is get these engines back on American soil instead of being manufactured in China.
You ever get behind the wheel, sir? I feel like you'd enjoy bumping and banging with some of these DNQ regulars.
Benny, I would, but I don't want to win by too much. Might hurt some feelings. I hear Carson Dollarhide's quick. Great name, by the way. But I'd give him a run. Tremendous racing tonight.
Well, if you run like I did at Bristol, you'll be in victory lane before they even throw the green.
Darrell, if I had $1 for every time you said back when I was racing, I'd buy the whole field a set of Hoosiers. Anyway, I am going to stick around and watch this great event.
Well, folks, the engines are about to fire. The grandstands are full, and the biggest kart race of the year is ready to go. The Miltona 50, under the lights. From Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. Mr. President, would you like to do the honors?
All right, folks, this is it. The biggest race in America tonight, believe me. These drivers, total patriots, fast, fearless, and some of them even pay their taxes. Not all, but some are now. I've seen a lot of great starts in my time, but this is going to be tremendous. So here we go. Drivers, mount up, strap in, and make racing great again. Drivers, start your engines.
SRI Pole Award goes to Robert Showalter, and we're going to take the starting lineup because this is our race to commentate after a bunch of years here Showalter on the pole, but due to the invert, that'll put Alfredo Dago on the pole, who's having mechanical issues going to the back, and Jeremy Murphy.
We're number 2, Kyle Beatty and Curtis Markham.
Bobby Showtime and Dean Wyrick.
Jimmy Allen Jr. a past winner, and Thomas Markham in the next row.
Tony RC and Richie Reeves.
And around the field here for the Net Positive Pool Services Cup Series. And man, 50 laps here tonight on these Ghost engines, another change here. And the open gear, so excited to see how this plays out tonight. Curtis Markham was actually very fast in practice, so it's a great equalizer sometimes when you change engines.
Yeah, this track is really widened out, lots of grip. Look at it. I mean, it's about perfect here for the A-Main.
Yeah, these Ghost engines again are within about a horsepower of the clones, but about $400 to $500 less at the end of the day as we're on board with Curtis Markham. He'll have our onboard camera here for the feature event, the Miltona 50. So we'll see how these cards go. They should still fly and be much more affordable. And as the season goes on, I'm sure we'll get a lot more participation here as the virtues of this engine package ring from the hilltops.
Jay-Z, do you think they've lowered their budget, or do you think they just spent the rest of that money on silver bullets?
A Yeti 110 packed to the brim for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the cost, right? You're looking at anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 for a clone. We went to China and got $300 engines, and you know, Curtis Markham, Jeremy Murphy, they're on sealed engines from the series, so you can get an engine sealed and run 10 pounds light. May have to change that rule. May have to be 15 to 20 pounds light as Showalter grabs the lead away from Curtis Markham, but we're working on it. It's going to be a process. We're going to figure it out. Now, we do know that there are some bad ones and some good ones from China as they're 3 wide and they're in the fence. Kyle.
Oh!
That was a bad move.
China.
I mean, you got a 50-lap race, and this guy just dives it in 5 wide on Kyle Beatty. Yep. He's wanting a piece of that. Can you blame him?
Calling for the ambulance, maybe.
Definitely not. This is like WWE shit right here.
That was like a China trade deal right there. That was no good for anybody. And Kyle got the worst end of it there.
He sure did, and he's mad. As he should be. He looks like Stone Cold running out of the whatever you call it, the entry deal.
The tunnel, yeah.
And look, he's going to talk it over. He's going to tell him he's wrong. And Kachiga. There it is, right there. That's the end of that guy's night. Street justice. That's what you call that. That is street justice. And you know what? Can't really blame him when a guy does that shit to you. Kyle Beatty angry. Let's take a look at what happened. Dives it in 3 wide. And that's going to give us the Little Billy's Tees Award. A new award for D&Q this year. The guy that makes the worst move of any race gets a Little Billy's Tees t-shirt. And that deserves it.
Yeah, that's it right there. I hope it's a wife beater.
50-lap race. Dives it in 3 wide. And he's done for the night. And you know what? Usually we have problems.
Beatty just
with
ripped
people
his plug
doing
wire
this.
right off.
But you know what? We cannot. You can't do that shit. This is what you call a good case of street justice. I hate it for that guy too, because you know, as a 50-lap race, don't do dumb shit. As that cart is parked for the night. I mean, Beatty a little angry still, as we understand, but that's part of racing. And unfortunately for these guys, some street justice. We're not gonna say anything about that because you know what? He probably had it coming. Be smart. Don't be stupid.
Deserve that one.
Yep. Choose codes out. This is going to put us in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Restart Zone. Showalter picked the top, so we'll see what happens. And we have, 49 laps to go, so hopefully these guys will tame out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of smaller field than we just saw, and track is super wide and super fast right now as we go back green in the Carroll Tractor Trailer Repair Restart Zone, and Curtis Markham firing off in that red rocket. Let's see if he's able to get out to the lead. Nope, Bobby Showtime with a big run off the top there, stretching his legs early.
71C makes his move up from the bottom there, got a little sideways. Didn't think he'd be able to make it stick, but Markham got even more swirly than he did. And we got a shuffle back here. Jeremy Murphy trying to make a run on the high side. He's in hot pursuit of the top 5.
And you know what? He got to the top pretty quick, so pretty good deal for that Busch Series rookie as we go on board with Thomas Backmarkham. Welcome back to the series, number 1. And number 2, his old man's outrunning his ass, so he better get up there.
You know, Jay-Z, after a red like that, that was not an open red. You know, the tire blankets were off, the tires cooled down, the pressures come down, you know, the motor's hot, you know, all your coolant's hot. Like, what are these guys experiencing right now? What adjustments do you have to make, and what kind of in-cockpit adjustments do these guys have available to them to get these go-karts back handling well after an extended red period like we just saw?
Well, that cart might not be handling right unless you're Bobby Showtime here. So you got to find those two things hanging between your legs and grab them, hold on tight, and try to find a couple of tenths here and there. Some of these guys may have a weight jacker in the left front they can reach down and mess with. Most don't. It's kind of an old adjustment from the 90s people used to run. And really just kind of find some different spots on the track that your cart might like. Maybe you're up against the top. Maybe you want to run the bottom here. Again, with a wide open gear rule, there's lots of room to improve and maneuver and try to make the cart work for you, even though it may not be perfect right now.
I think every cart has been stopped at a red period. You know what I'm saying? Just nobody's a fan of them. Nobody's a fan of those red periods.
No,
Definitely changes things quite a bit, right?
Yeah, sometimes you got to run that red light, B.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes there's a lot of chocolate involved in those as well. A lot of anger involved in those.
Yeah.
So you just got to manage it. You have to manage it. Maybe the tires are matte. Maybe the tires need some space by themselves. Maybe the tires need to Netflix and chill by themselves, and you get them, you know, whatever candy they need. Sometimes you just got to stay away from those tires after a red period.
They do get a chance to cool off, per se, you know, and then they heat right back up again in a very short period of time. Very unpredictable swings in behavior for these go-karts here during a red period.
Absolutely, especially when you're just sitting around. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to distance yourself away from it. And they'll come back around, but sometimes best for yourself to stay away from those. So watching Jimmy Allen rip the top. Seems like those things are back, and they're back in action. And, you know, you get a heat cycle on these tires. Sometimes they tighten up a little bit. You get that glaze over the outside of them, and you got to burn that glaze off. And it seems like Jimmy Allen is up there trying to sell some T-shirts, cleaning off that top. And we know that guy is a king at running the top side here at Millbird Speedway, so he's getting after it.
Yeah, God, I love to see that. High horsepower motors right up to the top, right on the fence where the fans can see him selling T-shirts. I love that, but like we saw in the race before this, here's Bobby Showtime putting around the bottom, right through the middle, boring as all hell, just winning shit. He's probably going like half a second a lap faster than everybody else, just running right through the middle. Not exciting at all.
No, and there's going to be a learning curve here, as Showalter is clearly showing everybody how to do it. And you know what? And Connerito's not far behind, but I will say this. You know, people say, oh, they're cheating, blah, blah, blah. Don't be mad about the work that you didn't do, right? As we watch Tony Arth, that guy is taco necking like a son of a bitch in that 11 car. Look at that thing. Look at how lean back he is. That is a 45-degree angle on that neck.
Listen to the engine on that thing as he comes around, right?
Oh,
he's
yeah.
wide open throttle and ball.
Ball. He was
letting off the start-finish line a couple laps ago.
The size of the seat is directly proportional to how many laps they're going to make out there. the 2XL Phantom seat is kind of a giveaway.
So, you know, people think it's easy. As we're watching a slider from Murphy, can he complete it? Not really. That's what we love about D&Q here. The gear rules opened up. Not going to see him swap, see Murphy get the run here. But well, once again, you can't get mad at the work you didn't do. And I know that Robert Showalter, as we're passing the taco neck again, that was 2 laps this guy's getting lapped, huh? Tony RC just flapping out on us. But Showalter does a lot of work, so if you want to beat him, you have to get the things that he has, and you know, racing's always been an investment thing, so you got to invest.
Does Tony RC serve spaghetti in the middle of July? Yeah, nothing like being hot, sweaty as hell, you know, Yeah, it's like probably like, just got done getting the backup ready. It's fucking 95 degrees out with 100% humidity. Here's some meatballs. Here's some fucking spaghetti
Meatballs and jelly in the crock pot.
Yeah, some salmon that's been sitting out for 6 hours, lukewarm.
Instead of chicken wings, they make bat wings. There's no meat left on them. Here's some dry-ass chicken wings. You can slather them in barbecue sauce. And I know you just worked all day and you got the backup car ready, but this is the best I could do. Connerino's running down Showalter. I think he actually has a better piece than he does.
Showalter, I don't know. He might be saving his tires.
Connerino's savvy, right? He's been searching. Bobby Showtime doesn't know how far out in front he is, really, right? I didn't see any sticks on the wall giving him any inkling here as Jeremy Murphy and 71C there, a longtime competitor, kind of duking it out still. Great racing here. So Connerino might have a shot here until Showtime sees that there's someone right there and maybe he finds that extra gear that we know he's got.
Got to give Jeremy Murphy a shout out here. He's doing a great job here running in this Cup Series race here tonight with Jimmy Allen, a veteran, as well as they touch sides a little bit here, but these guys are both on sealed engines, and the leader is not, so we have to do some work there. But Showalter will get his own sealed engine. He'll get to run as a points leader, but these guys are just having a great night here and great racing.
Love to.
You can see.
Go ahead, Bill. Love to see the DNQ series, take the rules and, if you're beating everybody's ass and you're the points leader, you know what? We're going to give you an engine, and you're going to run that until you're not the points leader, and then we'll give the new points leader an engine too.
It's always an option for the DNQ series to make a driver run an engine that we supply. So that probably will happen to Showalter the next Millbridge race. And it's not like he gets a hold of it. He puts it on at the racetrack.
Yeah. And he's starting to pull away from Connerino again. Connerino might be running a little bit low on your quarter pounders, the cheese, and Red Bull here. It is a very long race in Miltona 50. I know we just passed halfway a little while ago. So these guys are circulating. He's right there in the draft. He can sniff a little bit of that slipstream. But Markham there is making it a little bit difficult for him to get by. Very Ryan Newman-esque of him.
We've had, just for a note, we've had two guys fall out of the seat, and Curtis Markham is probably twice their age. So Curtis Markham still getting after it after all these years.
Yeah, I don't know if he can still actually get it done, but he can sure fake it, that's for sure. He ain't going to be buying beer at the bar, put it that way.
Yeah, Alan and Jeremy Murphy here, who are duking it out for third and fourth spot. They're about to get lapped by Showtime here. Again, kind of talking about the sealed engine versus the non-sealed. It's an evolving thing here, a living organism, this new class here, this new power plant package. So we'll go back to the drawing board here at corporate and try to come back with some good adjustments here to kind of tighten up the competition. Because at the end of the day, we want to put a good show out there for all the fans that bought tickets here at Millbridge.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still going to throw 5 to go. So we got a lucky dog here, and Showtime just out there waxing everybody's ass, which is expected. He does his homework. What about Connerino, who's a partner of his, in second place? And we're getting close to that 5 to go caution. I feel it down in my plums. But just learning from tonight in general. A lot of guys doing very well. As there it is, our DNQ 5 to go caution. Let's send it up to the
Welcome back to the Miltona 50, and what a wild ride it's been. We've got 5 laps to go, and it's been nothing short of a melee out there. The top lane fully in play. The drama off the charts. And yes, President Trump is still with us.
Mike, I told you the top would come in. It always does here at Millbridge, especially when the cushion builds up. These drivers waited for it to come alive, and now everyone's got it wound up like a Trump rally on 10-cent beer night.
And speaking of fired up, Kyle Beatty's night ended with more heat than a Twitter war. Dean Wyrick sent him into the wall with the filthiest slider this side of a Waffle House parking lot. Beatty said, "No thanks," and ripped the coil right off Wyrick's motor. That's DNQ Street Justice, baby.
You love to see it. Back in my day, if you pulled a move like that, you were getting your steering wheel handed back to you. Through the window. Beatty's no nonsense. I like it.
That was incredible. I mean, Beatty, tough guy, strong hands, ripped it clean off like he was opening a can of Coke. I'd say he wins the Courage Under Fire award if we had one. We should make one. Or call it the Trump Trophy. Huge trophy. Beautiful.
President Trump, how do you feel about the taco neck epidemic down on Pitt Road?
Let me tell you, Tony R.C. and Richard Reeves, they're getting real sleepy like sleepy Joe Biden. I've seen this before. It's what happens when you skip leg day. They've got about 5 laps before they're holding their heads up with zip ties. We might need to build a wall around their seats in order to keep their heads in. I've seen a few taco necks in my day, but these necks are floppy. I think to myself, wow, that's a lot of taco neck. They probably should park it. I will say I have to give the gold star to Curtis Markham. He is way older than these men and is still getting after it. A true American hero, absolute legend.
While the taco neck flops, up front we've got Showalter with a comfortable lead. Contarino's been rock solid all race, but Bobby Showtime's making this one look easy.
Jimmy Allen's lurking in third, and Jeremy Murphy somehow slipped into the top 5 without anyone noticing. Classic sneaky Busch Series move. Curtis Markham rounds it out. We've got a dogfight coming with 5 to go.
Carroll Tractor Trailer Repair Restart Zone as Showalter gets a big jump. 5 to go. We'll see what... Yeah, he's gone. He gone. As we're watching the battle for second here between Contarino and Jimmy Allen.
Contarino able to hold it on the bottom of 3 and 4 there, but scrubbed a ton of speed by doing it. And look at the run that Bobby Showtime is getting. He is entering up top and then turning down the hill, grabbing a little bit of gravity, getting a little bit more speed as second and third finally line up for, like, I don't know, a straightaway. Contarino able to pull back out ahead of Jimmy Allen there, and all that's doing is letting Bobby Showtime get out farther.
2 laps to go for Showtime, who's dominated this event. And, you know, we're missing Chris Bailey, who could give him a run for his money, but maybe he'll come back. I know he's in the stands watching. White flag out for Showtime. He is going to come around here and take the dub. His first Miltona 50 win, and he passed full engine teardown. So an impressive win for him as well. Let's go down to Victory Lane and talk to him. All right, what a good night for racing, guys. I mean, couldn't expect any more. And the next race is the Darlington layout. Very excited to watch that.
Victory Lane, winner of the Miltona 50, Bobby Showtime. Well, if we're going to run 50 godforsaken laps, next time, can you do us a favor and make it fun to watch? I mean, the best thing that happened was there was a fight on the front stretch, and then watching Tony R.C. just trying to make it around for 20 laps was actually pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, whoever was in the 25, I come up on him so fast, I about wrecked in the back of him. I was like, oh boy. So, yeah, that thing, the motor ran good, the tires and the cart handled perfect. My eyes, and so this will be interesting. This will be the first time through tech with one of these, so who knows? It's from the box.
I'm not feeling good about it.
It's from the box, so we'll see. What's good is so I bought 3 motors, right? One was on the USAC cart, and it's okay. And we came and tested with another one, and it was really good. Well, I didn't want that one to get bought, so I brought this one, and this thing's just as good as the other one. So we got two bullets in the stable. So yeah, let's go to tech and win this thing.
All right, winner of the Miltona 50, possibly Bobby Showtime here at Millbridge Speedway. Yeah, 100% disaster. Contarino, I mean, Jesus, 50 laps is just looking at Showtime's ass. You were the only one that could even sniff it, so kudos for that.
Yeah, I got a little sniff, but I think he was just playing with me and just let me catch up to him. So, but I think in an earlier run, maybe I would have had something for him, but I had to start trunk, so that don't help.
No, your night started better than Beatty. I think you had a good vantage point of that. What the fuck happened there?
I do wish I had a helmet cam. Whoever was in they just threw a dirty slider and wiped Beatty out. I mean, that was uncalled for. Some people shouldn't be behind the wheel.
It's DNQ. I mean, it's DNQ. Still doing this shit, so I'm not doing great. All right, P3, Jimmy Allen Jr. I don't know if we could even call it P3 because, like, you got lapped at one point. And then I did like that. I think you're the only driver to ever get the wave around and actually do the fucking wave around.
It's the Miltona 50. If they're going to give me a lucky dog, I'm running around the field. So don't give me the lucky dog if you don't want me to do it. I didn't really think it hurt anything. But anyways, yeah, we got work to do to get close to Robbie and them. But the car was good. It was just not good on the straightaway. So we'll try again next time.
Yeah, I think Tech's going to be the all-time decider here. What's going to happen? We're going to find out. First time Tech.
Win. Who knows? Yeah. I might get the trophy.
Who knows? This could be your winner. Race winner, Jimmy Allen Jr. Got lapped.
All right, what a good night for racing, guys. I mean, couldn't expect any more. And the next race is the Darlington layout. Very excited to watch that.
Yeah, first time for the DNQ series. What a show by Bobby Showtime tonight. I mean, he just absolutely smoked everybody, really did his homework, took home the biggest race of the year.
Yeah, that early springtime racing poses some unique challenges here. We got the challenge of the new engine package, the Ghost engine here, being shown off in the Miltona 50. Old familiar face in Victory Lane, getting it done again. The reservation for one down there with a 30 rack of Busch Light. Good run for him, and excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds.
Absolutely, and we're very happy to have the AI pit box here as well. They brought their stuff in, and the AI president as well.
The lights are flickering down here at Millbridge Speedway, and after a night like that, I think even the track surface needs a nap. We came in hyped for the 11th annual Miltona 50, and buddy, it delivered like a Domino's driver on crack.
Every single class threw haymakers tonight. The track went through more changes than a teenage TikTok influencer. We saw the bottom dominant early, then the top came to life once the rubber laid in 3 and 4. Strategy mattered, patience mattered, and apparently so did having enough neck strength to finish.
Yeah, no kidding. We had more cases of taco neck than a chiropractor convention. Reeves was swinging like a bobblehead on a dashboard by lap 22. And let's not forget Beatty. Flipped like a pancake, came back swinging like a sledgehammer.
Heat, I don't care what anyone says. That move by Beatty to rip the coil off Wyrick's motor, that's going to live in DNQ lore forever. You just don't see that at the cup level. That's pure DNQ, baby. Grit, payback, and a busted coil pack.
And then in the dash race, Campolonga did what Campolonga does. Checked out faster than a guy realizing his tab's been open since hot laps. Mrack and Meyer made it fun, though, and Steve Totch is always there in the mix.
So Walter put the rest of the Busch series on notice tonight. Clean, fast, and in control. And I know we joke about him a lot, but he drove like a man with something to prove. That wasn't just a win, that was a statement.
And don't forget all the new names making noise tonight. These kids may not know how to shut the trailer door right, but they sure as hell know how to throw a slider.
And if tonight was a preview of what we've got coming in 2025, then Lord help us all, because the drama, the chaos, and the damn good racing ain't going anywhere.
Couldn't have said it better, boys. From wild pit stops to coil-pulling justice to 3-wide door slammers, we've seen it all. That's going to do it for us tonight at the Miltona 50. We'll see you next time. Same chaos, new carnage. Only next time, it's on the Darlington layout. Good night from Salisbury.